This video is for lesson 1-23, and we're going to be building a table using our calculator. So I'm going to go over how to do it in the calculator first. So what you're going to do is you're going to enter an equation. So we're going to go ahead and do this first example here. Let's go back a page. This y equals x plus 4. So you're going to go to y equals, and you're going to enter your equation here. So my equation is x plus 4. So you use this key here where it's got the x, the t, the omega, and the n. That's how you enter an x. And so x plus 4 is my equation. And then you hit second graph, and it's going to take you to the table. So x is the number that you would plug into the equation, and this table is going to be made up of points on the coordinate plane. So I'm looking for where x is -5. So if you go to -5, you see that the y is -1, where it's -4, the y is 0, where it's -2, the y is 2, and then where x is 0, the y is 4. So your table should match up with exactly what is in your calculator for those digits. And then you can graph this once you have it, and to graph it, you just plot the points. So -5, -1 would be right here, and then let's do 0, 4 would be here, and all you need are 2 points, and I'm not going to be able to draw a very good line here. But you would just draw a line, and you can use a ruler to draw the line through your graphs. All right, so the next one is 3/4 x. So I'm going to go back to y equals, and I want to clear that equation out. Now, to put a fraction in, alpha y, and then 1. And so my equation here is 3/4. And then you're going to subtract 2. And so again, you're going to hit second graph, and that's going to bring up your table. So here I'm looking for -4, and I see that it's -5/4. But for some reason, I've got -5/4 on everything. So I'm going to go back, and I want to check and make sure I've got my equation in right. I did not put my x in. So I need to put my x in, and now I can go look at my table. So if you get that where you're getting the same answer every time, go back and check your equation. So at -4, my x should be -5. And so let me pull this down. Let's see if it matches what I've got. So at 0, my x should be -2. So that one's right. And then when x is 4, y should be 1. And where x is 8, y should be 4. All right, so the next ones we have, I've got y equals 3x. So y equals is where you enter your information. And so we're going to clear that out. And we're going to put 3x, just 3x in. And second table gives me, or second graph gives me my table. So at -2, the x should be -6. At -1, the y should be -3. At 0, my y should be 0. And at 1, my y should be 3. So you can see here that my table and my calculator are lining up. So we've got one more here. And so my equation here is now negative, and I've got a fraction. So my fraction is 3/2. And again, don't forget your x, and then plus 2. Second graph will give you your table. And so at -2, if x is -2, my y should be 5. At 0, my y should be 2. At x is 2, your y should be -1. And at x is 4, your y should be -4. So again, you can see that my table and my calculator are lining up. All right, the last page of notes you have today are these, and they're entering these equations again and finding the table. So y equals, so let's put this first equation in, 2x plus or minus 4. Oh. So let me clear this out. Oh, if it'll let me. -4. All right. So second graph will give me my table. And again, you just want to check and make sure that you're writing down exactly what's in your calculator. So -1, you should have a -6 for the y. For 7, if x is 7, you should have a 10 for the y. And then my final table here is -1/2 x. So 1/2 x, and make sure that you're getting out of the fraction when you add that x, and then -3. So second graph will give me my table. And so here, this one starts at -5. And so at -5, my y is -1/2. And then at 0, my y should be -3. And then at 6, my y should be -6. And so again, that's what my table is showing. And then we're only going to do example 3 and example 4 on this one. So it says write an equation of the line with a slope of 5 and a y-intercept of -3. So a reminder, y equals mx plus b. So you plug your slope in for m and your y-intercept in for the b. So you should have y equals 5x plus 3. So to get, you need to find 4 points. So you're going to do the same thing we've been doing. You're going to type your equation in. So 5x minus 3, second table, and now you have ordered pairs. So 0, -3 is an ordered pair, 1, 2 is an ordered pair, 2, 7, and again, you can see how my points line up here. 0 and -3, that's this first ordered pair, 1, 2, that's the second ordered pair. And so the very last one for these notes, we've got write an equation of the line with a slope of -2/3 and a y-intercept of 4. And so to find your points, you're going to type your equation in. And so 2/3, again, make sure you get out of that fraction, plus 4, second table, and then that's going to give you your points that you need. So again, you can see 0 and 4, that makes an ordered pair. 1 and 10/3, that makes an ordered pair. 2 and 8/3, that makes an ordered pair. And then 3, 2, that would make your final ordered pair. So that is it for the notes for lesson 1-23.